Hello, you're watching Avenue X, and today let's talk about 3 dramas in one video. They're all period dramas. They are each from one major drama platforms, and they are in their own specific subcategory under the idol period drama. It's quite interesting to compare them at this stage. First, from Youku, 掌心 Kill My Sins, 30 episodes period drama that aired on the same day as the second drama I'm going to talk about, which is 仙台有树 from Archaic, Love of the Divine Tree, a period fantasy idol drama. And the third one is the latest to go live only recently on Tencent, the shortest among them, 26 episodes, 怎地她千娇百媚 Le Belle, don't make me pronounce its French name. Kill My Sin from Youku is a quotation mark real historical period time setting drama because of a female emperor and the people with Wu and Li surnames. You know, it's referring to Wu Zetian's period of time, but then they change specific characters and names in the drama just to, I think, avoid censorship, because if you're talking about real historical figures, you get a lot more red tapes than the Archaic one, Divine Tree, pure fantasy idol period drama, because it literally is not a story about normal human. And then the Tencent one, the more typical fictional setting, no real historical reference, and mostly just focused on romantic story among, let's say, normal humans. So that's another subcategory. Other things that you may want to know is, for example, the Youku Kill My Sin drama is an original script drama. The other 2 dramas, the Divine Tree and the Le Belle one, are based on existing novels. If you take a quick look at all 3 dramas, it's probably very obvious that the Youku one has the highest production budget. All 3 directors have done works I've talked about and watched before, and I'd say 2 of them will be more famous. The Youku drama, it is directed by Bai Shan, who is the director of the first Strange Tales of Tang Dynasty, because he's been working with the producer and owner of Changxing for ages. And if you've watched Strange Tales of Tang Dynasty, you kind of can tell Kill My Sin would vibe quite similarly, because it is another setting Tang Dynasty mystery breaking drama, although it is more specifically about one case that involves a lot of people over a time span, instead of, say, going to different places and every time getting into one case. The Divine Tree one from Aiqi is directed by the veteran director of current Chinese idol fantasy period drama, Yin Tao. He's done all these works, and you've probably watched at least 1 or 2 of them. Some of those works got really, really popular. Some got criticized a lot. Some kind of flopped. Some had more drama outside of the drama than the actual drama itself. Then the Tencent drama is directed by the only female director among the 3. She probably is also the youngest. She has least work to show for previously, although I really did love her previous contemporary drama that aired on Mango not so long ago, 极速悖论, car racing drama. Finally, in terms of the size of the drama, the Aiqi one is the longest, 40. The Youku one is 30 episodes, and then the Tencent one is 26. Now, I'm going to go in to talk about each of them and what I have problems with them or what I like about them. Mostly is on the problem side, and I definitely suffer in different ways watching these 3 dramas. If I have to say among these 3 dramas, which one made it easiest for me to swallow and to watch and gave me least pain when I was watching it, it would actually be the Tencent one. And then the fantasy and the case-breaking type of drama from Aiqi and Youku, I honestly wouldn't recommend these 2 dramas to anybody. Now let's go into details one by one. Let's tackle first the Youku Kill My Sin drama. This is 30 episodes led by Liu Shishi and Dou Xiao. It also involves Xuan Lu and Zheng Yecheng. One is more like a supporting character, the other is more like a guest. It also actually features some very well-known actors such as Chen Jing, Ye Wenjie from Three Body. Now she plays the female emperor of Tang Dynasty. You also have Xu Jiao, who was a child star, started in movie land and moved gradually into other things. So it's actually a pretty, let's say, a lot of stars ensemble, and probably the most expensive in terms of paying actors drama among the 3 dramas. And without spoiling this drama too much for you, it is like a period drama version of The Long Night from Aiqi many years ago. That 白玉宁理 drama, if you still remember, very successful drama. Only that the leading character is no longer the police or the prosecutor as we had in that contemporary drama, but in a way the victim slash semi-culprit. About 2 years ago or a year ago, the Tencent drama led by Wu Qian, 九亿人, this drama has a lot of that. So think about 九亿人 and then Long Night. mixed together in a period fictional Tang Dynasty setting. That's basically what Zhang Xin is. Our female lead character played by Liu Shishi, she is involved in a previous case, and now she comes back with a big plan to revenge and seek justice. She's slightly more complicated than just a victim, and I will not say any more because that will spoil the story for you. And then Dou Xiao is a guy who eventually would become an important partner for doing what she wants to do. He comes from very, very low background in that society and climbed up the ladder, but still gets a lot of discrimination. I've watched the first 3 episodes in one go, and then I got so bored and so impatient and so not knowing what the heck they're doing. I dropped out. I came back later, and I clicked into later episodes and didn't watch every minute, but I kind of figured out what happened, particularly the so-called big twist that happened around episode 5, where you find out who the female lead really is and why she's really in this. And one of the reasons that I kept watching when I really don't enjoy the drama is I want to see Zheng Yecheng showing up because I know he's in it. And for me to watch a period drama where he is in it, usually it's just to look how good he looks and then does he have like good fighting scenes. And here are some reasons I think why this drama is a pity. It could be a lot better, right? With its raw material, if you work it a lot more. The first problem I have with this drama is its narrative structure is just so wrong for telling such a story. Liu Shishi, she played this woman right from the beginning. You know, she's set up as the main lead character. Yet, the drama almost gives you no opportunities to really get to know her. Her story doesn't actually get shown a lot later, like until episode 5, which is how many people would have the patience to sit there, watch through all the things in the beginning that kind of like is not telling you anything really about her. She's just doing the things she's doing. She's looking clever. She's like planning this whole thing. There's a big plan and she's using people to get what she wants. It seems she's clever, but then apart from that, like, who is she? What is likable or immediately relatable or lovable about this person? She is gonna be our main perspective character. You need to make the audiences immediately connect with them as soon as possible so that they are willing to go on the journey with the lead character. But in this drama, they really didn't do any of that in the first, 3-5 episodes. It lost my interest so much. I don't have all the time. As a lead character, this is just not the right way to start it and write it. And not to mention, this drama, at the beginning at least, it looks very much like a case-breaking drama. You're gonna see a murder happening and you're gonna wanna figure out what is going on. But the way they set up the biggest hook of the story, which ideally you should already let people know in episode 1, is just not there. Compared to, say, the very similar contemporary drama Long Night a couple of years ago, it's right from the beginning, the suitcase. In the subway, people know something wrong is going on and police come and you open it, it's a dead body. No time wasted. Immediately audiences get hooked and they know, oh, this is like the big mystery we're gonna solve. As they solve the mystery, what is with this suitcase and the dead body and the person who's taking the case, you go back in time to figure out the prosecutor and even earlier on the timeline, what happened to the first teacher. Structure the story in a way that made sure that the audiences will be on the edge of their seat and hooked and wanting to know what happens one episode after another. That's how you're supposed to tell a thrilling, revenge or whatever, case-breaking or like cold case story. And in Kill My Sin, they actually did the complete opposite. They held off the juicy part so much that they can't blame the audiences for not staying on the ride after 2 episodes, because still nothing important has happened. You haven't even gotten close to who our lead characters is and why she's doing what she's doing. Who knows when it's gonna happen? Maybe next moment, maybe 5 episodes later. I don't have all the time. And you're not airing all the episodes in one day either. So it's just a really, I don't know why, stupid way to write such a story with this structure. And we'll come back to that later because for the second drama, something more funny would happen with this. Anyway, so that's the biggest problem I have with this drama is it actually has some interesting characters. It has some interesting messages. And if you do it well, it can be very impactful. But they just did it with all the wrong structure. The second problem I have with this drama is the 2 leads. I cannot feel any engagement, empathy, interest in them. I don't care about what happens to them. The guy is constantly cold-faced, no expression, unhappy 24/7. I don't know what he is so uptight about. And he's like that all the time. And for the female lead character, Liu Shishi is playing her as this 胸有成竹. It's like she has all the plan in her chest, so confident in her own ability. It does not make sense for a person who doesn't have special, let's say, ties to powerful people, doesn't have high birth in that society, to act like this in front of everybody, knowing that she can get out of it eventually. I guess because she knows she's the lead character. Again, like, where does that confidence come from? Just because you can hypnotize people? And also the hypnotizing thing is like, yeah, you just make believe, okay? So she's like, don't bother me. And he's like, don't get close to me. And I'm like, okay, goodbye. And then Liu Shishi's acting is... Okay, let me put it this way. During Journey to Love, I think her acting to an extent worked is because her character is essentially quite simple. She's this cold-hearted, turned into a robot, killing machine that finally gets recognized as a human, and that starts to change her. It's a very simple, very crisp, very clean line that doesn't really require much imagination and effort from the actress. And it has a lot of fighting scenes, and she's good at it. So that worked out really well for her. This character is a lot more complicated. It has a lot more facade, and ideally you should play it on many different levels, and it definitely is beyond her reach as an actress. And then she did it with her own voice, which on one hand, I would say you should be doing it because you're a professional actress. At least that's the right attitude. But then try harder, get more practice, learn it better. Because she is doing it, I think, trying her best, but even her best is not close to what you expect from a professional actress. If you imagine this role is played, say, by an actress like Jiang Xing, and she's doing it with her own voice, you can almost immediately hear how those lines will be spoken and how much better it would sound like compared to when Liu Shishi puts those lines out. I do this, okay? I do this when I'm watching it, and there are only that many this I can do before I quit a drama. And I feel it's a very missed opportunity because it could have been a lot better, given they changed the narrative structure, how they put things, order things, how they tell the story. Also given actually getting to other actors playing the leads. How many people have I offended by this point? Moving on to Divine Tree. I'll put it this way. It's a very archaic setup of the leads. So archaic that we've seen it 10 years ago. Now, people are going to argue with me. No, it has little changes here, there. It's like different from the dynamics of like Journey of a Flower 10 years ago with Zhao Liying and Huo Jianhua. Yeah, it's different. But essentially, it is still 师徒. Okay, it's teacher and student. You are my teacher, I am your student, lifetime one. Lifetime to switch because of something happened. I become your teacher, you become my student. And they try to play a comedy and just funny things that could happen with this dynamics because heaven has its rules. And when you switch it around, you know, you get lightning strikes and stuff. I see the point, but still, essentially, it's that old tropey thing. Early 2000s, you have everybody getting cancer in romantic idol drama, or there's a car crash and you lose memory, or you find out you're actually biologically related. You know, it's not that different. And there are so many classic 师徒 period fantasy. It's too old. Does not matter if you've done some new things about it. The fact that somebody hears about it's a 师徒 fantasy idol period drama, they may already decide not to click into it because, not again. That should make people think about maybe just stop making stories like that for 10 years. Give it a cooling down period, right? Before you jump back in. Now, when we actually go into the drama, when I watch the first 2 episodes, the special effects looks kind of nice. Like all the particle lighting thing is pretty. And that's probably the best thing about this drama, at least among the episodes I've watched. In terms of these 2 people trying to convince me, either Lifetime 1, that she is the 师傅 and he is the 2D, or Lifetime 2 switch around, he is the 师傅 and she's the 2D. I don't buy either. 像韩之, she's fine for a contemporary metropolis romantic drama where she plays her age person, like in her 20s, right? Whether it's that drama I've watched with her and Wang Anyu, or that drama I've watched her with Yang Xuwen, was okay. Like, I wasn't impressed by her acting at all. She can be kind of replaced by any similar looking and age actress in China in those dramas, and it would work the same. But she at least was watchable. But when she goes into fantasy idol drama land, she just doesn't fit in. She doesn't look like somebody who should show up in a period drama. And particularly when she's playing the 师傅 to Deng Wei, no way. Like, the way she speaks, walks, talks, you cannot convince me, okay, that she is basically, by society standard, his father generation, equal to parents. That's how it works in Chinese society. The look of the 2 actors just don't come together in a shot that convinces you she is his teacher. And when they switch that around, maybe that looks more natural because she is really youthful, like young teenager looking, right? So that will work better. But then again, she doesn't really fit period dramas, I'd say. She fit contemporary dramas a lot more. And if you want to compare her young girl vibe character in a fantasy period drama to, say, many years ago, Zhao Li Ying's 花千骨, you immediately see who is like better suited for such a type of role in such a drama. She can't really pull off that second lifetime 2D either. And it's odd just to keep watching and trying to convince yourself when every minute when you look at the picture, it's just telling you, no, it's not that. I said earlier, I'm going to come back to a point, which is I said if Zhang Xing changed its narrative orders and tell story differently, it could be a much better story. Well, guess what happened to Divine Tree? They did it themselves. When they aired it on the first day, the story starts with the female lead dies in her first lifetime, and then it cuts to the second lifetime. The male lead now is the Shifu and finds the girl, calls her his 徒弟, and then it cuts back to first lifetime how they met. That's how the story started, at least when they first aired it. Later, without me noticing it, they re-edited the whole drama. They put the original episode 3 in the first episode. So it starts with she died, and then you go straight to what happened when they first met in first lifetime when she took him under her wing as her student. And then it tells their story, and then it cuts to second lifetime when their relationship flips around, which probably is something is right for the story to do. They should have edited it like this the first time, but they didn't do it, and they realized it didn't work, so they went back and changed it as the drama is still airing online. Now, this goes to the zone where I question the morality of doing such a thing. Because say, if you put a drama online and you realize you have some big mistake, like there's a boom in the shot you didn't catch, or some dubbing has like peaking noises, or there's a line typed wrong in subtitles, and you go fix it, I think that's very understandable. Let's say there's this one scene, like the Dongba Chu, where they had a male lead actor like literally pulling on the bra of the actress that just made everybody so angry, and they go in and cut out that. Those kind of actions, I can understand to an extent why the drama would want to do it, but honestly, this is the first time I've seen dramas after they've aired and hasn't actually finished airing go in and change narrative order, episode order. They put episode 3 now in front and they re-edited the whole thing. And yes, it makes the story flow better, but it begs the question, like, is that cheating? It's like you've already finished the test and you're just not happy with your grades. You go to the teacher, say, can I take it for a second time? Or it's like I've given birth to a baby, but this time is wrong. Astrology chart is not to my liking. Can I just push the baby back to the womb and then give birth to it again and get a better chart? I mean, if that happens in reality, people are all gonna go like, you can't do that. Okay, it's cheating. Although people are doing it in filmland a lot. It's like the film doesn't succeed, they take it off, they re-edited it and then put it out on a different day, which is like, where's the bottom line? In the future, people are just gonna have more excuses to do more unthinkable things, and it's just gonna keep sinking lower and lower. And also, dramas, they do have to go through censorship. If you do such a big edit, do you need to get recensored? Even though you actually didn't change, let's say, the plot, but you did change how you tell it such a significant way, do you then need to submit it again? And if you didn't and you still let it air, it's quite questionable. I mean, I understand from one angle that you want to make the story better, and it's a web drama, it's not airing on satellite, so you can do it. But on the other hand, if this kind of post-fixing is accepted in the industry, it just lowers the standard furthermore. It just makes it easier for lazy people to do bad work and still get out of the jail free. This is probably the most shocking part of the drama. Other things such as like whether Dong Wei's acting works on me, I think he's not too bad. I mean, based on what I've seen in this drama, but he's far away from in any way impressing me or making me feel interested in his role. If you like it, you can keep watching it. It probably isn't that bad, but it does not work on me. It really does not work on me, and I tried my best, and I think there's a limit of how far I can push myself. So that's for 仙台有书, Love of the Divine Tree. Last one from Tencent, 怎地她千娇百媚. I said in my weekly video, 普普通通古偶, and I would still say pretty much it is. But compared to the significant pain points I've had with the other two dramas, this drama doesn't have that. It's just such a normal and sometimes a little bit outrageous romantic period drama, because if you stop and think twice for its logic, you're like, yeah, that thing is no way gonna actually happen like that in a reasonably realistic ancient time society. But hey, it's idol period drama, so you kind of let it go. I'll tell you what's good about this drama. It has this middle zone of almost everything. Costume, It's not too well done. It's not too shabby. Lighting, it's not too cinematic and putting a lot of money and figuring out where the light should be coming from and looking glorious and textured. But then it's not like just shine a huge light bulb and erase all the details and make night as bright as day, as a lot of crappy period dramas would do in Chinese drama land. So it's kind of like a sandwich in between everything. Even the casting and actually the, let's say, ka-wei, the levels, the tiers of actors in this drama. So you probably have seen all the leading actors in other things. But all these other things are either smaller web dramas or bigger dramas with them being supporting roles, such as the male lead Fang Yilun. Last time he had a really popular role was in Journey to Love, and he played the supporting role of Shisan. When he leads a drama, it tends to not go anywhere. Actor Guo Jianan, who recently just showed up in the drama I talked about, Live or Love, as the supporting role. He was a lead in 古相思曲, a small project. So again, not very well known, but for people who have watched his stuff, they know who he is. And then you have the actor who played the dragon in 苍兰诀. He's another supporting role. So pretty much everybody is on that level. And this drama is female lead 1 and many male lead actors. And then there are some actors who are almost completely unknown, previously only showing up in short web drama that I have no idea who they are, but they actually did a good enough performance with the time they have on screen. I enjoyed it because I had no expectation, and everybody is like at that point in industry where they cannot really make waves too much. So it tends to give you a picture that's coherent enough, and you can tell it's the storyteller behind the camera telling the story more than any particular big star in the story trying to hijack the narrative and make it their own project. So it actually results in a story that works 70% of the time pretty okay with its designed narrative. Another good thing about this drama is all the guys, the male lead, second, third, fourth, like there are 5 of them, something like that. Visually, they're all pleasing. Also, they're all different. There's no 2 people who are like the same kind of good looking or same vibe actor. It's like going into a garden and this is a peony, that is a lotus. They're all different flowers and they're so different that you will never, mistake a tulip for a rose, for example. So in terms of visual enjoyment and basically seeing the variety of good looking guys, it is very pleasing. It probably is the most pleasing idol period drama I've seen recently. Pretty girls, pretty guys. Lin Ying is pretty in this drama, although I don't think it's really close to the level where the drama makes her is the prettiest of them all. Maybe not to that level, but she's pretty enough and she has this youthful energy, the healthy vibe she has. So even though she's acting like very normally, nothing outshines what she's done before, but at least it's not too bad so that you can't watch. It's like acceptable level. And then all the supporting girls around her in the story, they're all actually very, very pretty. Everybody, again, is pretty in their different way, like the princess or the Chen lady. Eye candy-wise, as an idol period drama where you expect pretty people, you have plenty. That's already a lot better than a lot of other dramas, let's be honest, these days. Then in terms of the plot, it is by no means a masterpiece. Sometimes you still feel its pacing is not very well controlled. There are parts of the drama that's interesting and then it slacks and you kind of lose interest and you get pulled back to another plot point. For the sake of comedy, they make that plot happen. But when you think about, for example, a super rich guy who lives in this big family and he's like one of the heirs of the family and he barely has any servants around him so that he can easily sort of always get in contact with the female lead, where societal-wise it's not ideal for you to constantly meet each other before you get married. Like all those things, when you think twice, it's like he has nobody around him. Like he lives in a secluded place in this huge estate. That does not make sense. And if you want to compare it to, say, last year's 九重子 Blossom and this drama, you'll see the writing quality still has a very big gap in between. Not to mention, this drama has a lot of grammatical mistake. So every couple of episodes, there's one line that jumps out. I'm like, 8th grader who's learned proper Chinese can tell what's wrong with that sentence. If when they were shooting, they made a mistake, they can change it in ADR because people do get dubbed in this drama. Yet, even when they dub the actors, they still make the same mistake grammatically, which means either the person who's reading the lines out is forced to read exactly what is written and it's actually wrong, or they're not paying attention. Usually dubbers actually are better educated, than actors. And if it's such a glaring mistake, normally they would notice and change it in dubbing. That's how responsible dubbers would do, but maybe they're not responsible. So if you want to learn Chinese, don't use this drama as raw material. It may actually ruin your learning. And as I was watching it into episode 12 yesterday, I'm starting to lose interest because the pacing of the drama is not very well controlled. And I don't quite know where it's going. Like, you cannot see a direction. It's not being set up in a way that can make you anticipate the next episode eagerly. I cannot say yet that I will for sure give up on this drama, but if that happens, I wouldn't be surprised. As for the other two, The Divine Tree and Kill My Sin, no, I'm not going back. Maybe in the future, the only way for me to see them is in somebody's mixed cut editing, cool shots of people fighting or something like that. Occasionally, one episode has one moment that goes on whatever trending hashtag on social media, hot for 1 second and then forgotten. Probably that will be how this drama is gonna eventually play out for me. I have triggers too. Like, I have points in my head that once it gets triggered, it's just incapacitate my system. Like really drowsy, sleeping-inducing acting, or really bad narrative structure, or just like unconvincing actors playing their role. The fact that they stand there looking like that is screaming, I am not the character. And how am I going to convince myself that you are the character and keep watching the story? These things I just cannot overcome. So that should be the end of this very long 3-in-1 video of 3 period dramas ongoing right now, mid-February 2025 in Chinese dramaland. Hope you've had fun. I'm yet to see a very impressive drama this year. Fingers crossed it's not gonna be as disappointing as 2024. Thank you for watching Avenue X. I'll see you in my next video. Meanwhile, live long and happy drama watching.